Right, let me just.
Oh, sorry, excuse me.
Hello, everybody. It's very nice of you to come and to join Saddam and I. We've been talking about it for weeks, but both of us have been so busy with other stuff and painting and teaching and everything. So it's nice to have you here. We are recording this, so if you don't want to be recorded, then please just take your video away and your audio away so that yeah, so that you don't get recorded or yeah, and this will also be available on YouTube later on. So, and Saddam will start our session, and it's a challenging subject for me. Saddam has had a bit more experience with drawing people, but it is for me quite a challenging subject. So I thought, well, let's just jump in and see what we can learn from this, and hopefully you will also learn. So yeah, welcome and thank you, Saddam, for starting. Then I'll do the second half.
Okay, I'm just gonna switch now. Just give me a second. Okay, spotlight, and I'm gonna remove spotlight. We can all see this screen, right?
Yes.
Good, good. Thank you,
Yes,
thank
the
you.
screen is nice and big, so this is fine. And then
Lovely.
also you're welcome to pop questions in the chat at the bottom, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask. And you, I think afterwards we'll also just have a time to have some questions.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you. So welcome everyone. Sorry, I'm just adding my images down here because I'm too lazy to share the screen. Or we just adjust the size. So what I like to do, what I'm going to discuss today's session is that I'm going to focusing on drawing sketches. So I do a lot of urban sketchings and I do see a lot of sketches whenever I'm outside. So I like drawing them a lot. And the reason why I decide to focusing on the sketcher is that they're quite nice subject to draw because they stay still longer than people who walking the street. So it's a quite nice practice for to focusing the specific people doing specific gesture so we can understand the movements and the patterns. Because believe it or not, when you observe the people, they do have a repetition of patterns and the gesture that they always repeat. Whether we subconsciously know it or not. So this is some of the sketch that I did for the Stellenbosch sketch urban sketcher group, and I was sketching a lot of sketches there. And so I'm just gonna share a few of my tips or how I would practice when it's come to drawing people. But you can see. Okay, so you can see there's a two different approach that I'll do. First, I'll draw with my crayons, lighter crayons with the line. So I'm focusing on the people drawing with using the line only. And then I can just when the I didn't finish this drawing because he moved eventually because he wanted to draw something else. That's perfectly fine. Then I'll just make sure I add a little bit of contrast to give the, darker line added on the top of it once he moved. So that could be another way. Or what I also like to do is building the silhouette, the shape first. And then I will add the detail by using crayons or color pencils or even pen or whatever that are available to me. You can see I build the shape first. You see this yellow shape down there. There was two lovely couples that's sketching outdoor, and then there was a car eventually, parked right in front of me. So I couldn't finish the gentleman down there because I couldn't see. So it's perfectly fine if that happens. It just silhouette will help you to give you a visual cue of how you can draw the person. And it's actually just for me to practice as well. So that's why today's session, I'm gonna specifically focusing on how to, practice to get a little bit more confidence on building the silhouettes and the people drawings and stuff. Yeah. Well, it might be quite daunting at first, but we figure it out as you go, I think. That's pretty much life. Okay, so let's jump into the main references. we can just first do the warm-up exercise, just to warming up our hands before we start up. This is Ben from the one of the urban sketcher. He's well known for sketching food. I thought it was quite nice warm-up sketch. So get yourself a paper, and then we can please get a pen or something else, not the pencil, because pencil you can erase it. We don't want that to happen. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna do warm up by doing a continuous line drawing. We're not here to draw perfectly. We're here to warming up our hands so that the hands can, understand what's going on. Should I give you guys some few more minutes to set up, or are we all ready? Do we all have pen or papers just in front of you?
I have. Yes, I have. So I think, yeah, you can start slowly. I think by the second one, everyone will be ready to go.
Okay, lovely. So now I'm not here to draw perfectly. I'm just gonna draw the line. We'll start lifting up the pen nib. We can all see down there. We're not here to draw perfect, like I said. We're here to warming up our hands, letting hands know that we are going to start drawing today. And it is perfectly fine if you want to overlap the line. And if you want to go back, that's also perfectly fine. Remember, we are warming up. This is not to draw perfect drawing. We are just here to let the hands know that we are going to draw today. You can already see how I can. I just like to draw. It's also blind contour drawing is also quite nice. Remember, we just wanna follow the line and the shape. Doesn't have to be perfect for now. But it should be something quick. It shouldn't take you too long. I'll draw his pen. They're always, one thing I like of a sketcher, they're always holding something, sketching, they're intensely looking at something. I'm lately trying to figure out how to draw moving people more and more interestingly. Let me draw his sketchbook. See, I'm pretty much done. I'm happy with this. This is just a warm up, remember? We don't need to draw perfectly. It just we hand is getting that little bit of gesture there. We're gonna start using it. Should everyone okay? Should I move on, or should I give you more minutes? 3 more minutes? Let me give you guys 3 more minutes to just do the warm up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a while for one's eye to get into it.
Hmm.
The
It's
one thing
okay.
I do like about the urban sketches, Saddam, is that, like you said, when somebody's moving or something moves in front of it, you just stop drawing right there and then. So the sketches aren't perfectly finished, but it still is a report of what you did at that moment, which is nice.
Yeah, and also it's perfectly fine if people move. But for now, today's session, we're gonna focusing on how we can practice to build a confidence, I think.
Yeah.
Please do check out this sketcher band. He makes beautiful food sketch. I
Sketcher,
really
Dan.
Ben, I think. You can see his
Oh,
Instagram up
okay.
there. He specializes in teaching food sketch and stuff.
Oh, lovely. And then he
Yeah,
eats it.
yeah.
Some of us eat first and then have to draw from memory.
Yeah, that's true. And I really like sketches always has that interesting, like hands gestures as well going on down there. And why my line is off? Let me fix my light while you guys drawing. Yanna, will you turn it on? Okay, back to light on. Strange. Hope everyone is doing okay. The weather is terrible.
Luckily, we only have 3 or 4 months of it, and not like 6 months like other places.
Oh my goodness, thank goodness. I can't handle this cold.
But you still go out with your doggy early in the morning to walk, eh?
Yeah, I
Which is
walk my
great.
dog, even if it's raining.
Yeah,
So that's
labbies don't care about rain.
that that is actually quite nice time to walk dog because no one is there.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Only dog walkers sometimes there. So I was like, oh, okay, it's good to see you.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
also a species on their own. Yes, you can go on.
I think we must move on. Feel free to share, or you can do it on your own time. I will share the picture later for you guys to practice as well. Let me remove these images and let me move to the side. So what I will suggest, there's a two different approach that you guys can start practicing when you're looking at people. Like, thank you, Sunita, for being my guinea pigs. She's also amazing sketches in Burubu's curtain side. And she makes beautiful print as well. Da, 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 da. I don't know if you guys can see the images. Can you guys see the images down here?
Yes,
Great, great.
perfect.
So what I would normally like to do is there's a two different approach. So when I look at these images, I will find I will first start with a dot. So where the joints are connecting on your body, like shoulder, your what is this Dionysus area's name again, Sonia? Ikani. You know where we are bending, where our joints are met. That's our
Elbow. Sorry.
elbow. Elbows and the hips and the knee and ankle. And I'm gonna start with drawing the dot. You guys, I'm just gonna do the like we do what how we normally draw the stick figure. Let's just say that's the head. And I'm just gonna start with the dot down there. You can see when you observe, don't just draw first, observe your person that you're drawing. You can see how the where the her shoulder is, and I'll just draw the dot down there. And where her elbows are bending, I can see there's another dot down there, so I'll just create a dot once again. You can see it's all diagonal, slightly tilted. And where her hips are met is down there as well, so I'll just draw the hips. Hips and shoulder points, they normally meet together. You don't have to know this by heart. I think it's easier when you print it out the picture that you like and then draw the dots on the top of it. And you can see I am just connecting the dot here. Doesn't have to be perfect, but can you see it's so there's a guy who called this like a constellation or star something, but I don't know the whole detail. I don't know the technical term. I just draw in very random, whatever that makes sense to me. Oh, and you can also find the dots on your wrist as well, so we know where is ending. And there sometimes is overlapping, that is perfectly fine. So you should more or less have got an idea by using this as a guidelines to help you to see where the body is actually linking together. So that's where the elbow is, and there's where the knees. So I will just connect them together. I know it's quite overwhelming at first, but the more you practice on it, it's gonna get much more easier for you to connect. And there's a hands is actually this ankle, the rest on this side is covered by the hand. So that's more or less give you the how you can simplify your subject that you're drawing. So how I will do it, once you got that, you can print it out the photos and practice this. And then you can also just draw on the top of it to see. Let me draw much more darker. I hope my dad is not gonna bleed. It's sneezing quite loud. And then I'll just draw on the top of it to build up the images. 아빠 조심해. 너무 크게 그거 하는 거 아니야? Can you see? I'm adding what was a proper word? Fat?
Flesh.
Wow. Gani. So you can see, I am just building the images based on the skeletons as well. This is a one way of practicing. This is just a practice, guys. So we don't have to draw all pretty. We just want to build that habits of how the sketches actually sit, or how do they normally fold their arm. So I will collect a series of sketches sitting and drawing, and then I will just draw the patterns of them, so we can recognize it. Once you build up those memory systems, like how the sketches normally sit and how their leg is bending, you got that memory build up on your system, then it's gonna be easier for you when you sketch it on the location. So yeah, it's just like ChatGPT. ChatGPT needs to have a lot of informations to be available there, and then it will connect. Once they got that data, they will connect it, and then they should able to produce whatever they want. So that is the first way, the first exercise you guys can do. I don't know if you should I give some time or 5 minutes to do this, or should I just move on to the next one and we can have our own time to practice?
I think you can move on. I think it will be fine because the people, when we post it on YouTube, they can actually stop the video and then practice as well. Because I
Okay.
think more people are watching than drawing. I don't know. You can say in the chat if you are drawing and that we should give more time. I'll then tell Saddam then to wait a little bit.
Yeah, please let me know whatever the work. And another approach that I like to do is building the silhouette. That's my favorite approach. Ay, ay, ay. So I'm gonna put Sunita's right next to each other. Thank you, Sunita. Once again, I'll let her know that she was in the guinea pig. Okay, let me move this a little bit to the corner and then I'll move to the. So what I like to do is that I like to draw these figures multiple times in a different way. It helped me to understand how the person's sitting and how the person sketching's hands actually pose. It give me a practice because this is all about practice. So what I like to do is that I like to see people's as a silhouette, chunk of shape instead of just like building this anatomy, because to me is silhouette, our brains, our eyes actually does trying to figure out what we see. So strong silhouette can actually help to recognize that is a person or that is apple. So practicing people with different silhouette really does help a lot. I will first do it in the line approach as well. Let me just do it on the side. So what I will do, I'm not here to draw a person. I'm going to try to imitate the silhouette. Because things can get quite overwhelming, I think, once we got the overloaded information.
Yeah, especially when you're on location, you have to really get your
Mm,
mind quietened down a bit to really focus on that shape and to eliminate the details. And
yeah.
you can do that by squinting and you get used to it. But I mean,
Yeah.
if you practice at home from photographs, it's already going to help a lot.
Yeah. Because remember the whole point of this exercise for you guys to get that knowledge, not the knowledge, data of how the people sketches sit and how do they hold their pencil. So if you have those information on your head or on when your hand is used to that information, then it will be easier for you to draw on the actual location because you know how they normally bend. You always go back to how those people bend and holding the pencil. That basic having that knowledge behind on your head really help you a lot. So it's very simple. It can be just using the outline. Once we got the silhouette built, I mean, we can already see this is someone sitting even if we don't have a lot of details in there. And when you're building the silhouette, think about the negative space like between here. It's very important to understand that negative space, I think. Another example like this, let me just show another example quickly. Like I like to do this a lot. You can print it out the images and you can just color it with highlighter or whatever. Can you see when you're drawing the person, look for the negative space, the space between your fill up area, like here, and it will really help the peoples to understand whether the person is sitting or standing, or is it a person or what. It's just simple like this, like same principle like apple. We know this apple, even though there's no shadings and no in detail information is there, because we already familiarize ourselves this shape associated with apple. So we try to understand the silhouettes when it's come to drawing people. So I can just add details here, like, and it doesn't have to be always like in perfect, but at least this will give you ideas how you can take practice the peoples in a different situation. Let's just draw the thingy, and the silhouette sometimes not 100% accurate, then you can just draw over it as well. There's nothing wrong with that. Or you can even apply this rule down here, down to the inside of your silhouette image that you created. So yeah, I mean, and now I realize there's a hand must go there. And there's a sketchbook. I can see there's where the sketchbook here and there, sketchbook is must be down that way. Now then I realize maybe the leg is too low. That's perfectly fine. I can bring down the sketchbook a little bit. Remember, we don't have to 100% accurate unless that is your goal. You can slightly modify the gesture. There's nothing wrong with that. It's your, well, if you're going for more your own interpretation of what you see the subjects. And then I can see the leg is down there. So it's just adding few more details does help a lot to build the images of the person.
That's looking lovely.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be perfect. You can do it with blocking with the shape as well, like how I like to do normally. Pick any lighter colors or broader pen, and I'm gonna just fill it up. And I don't normally do it in like perfectly. I just build up according to whatever my marker is actually doing. Or it doesn't have to be marker, but I just realized I run out of space. But that's perfectly fine. Trying to make sure your silhouette fit into the frame that you're working on. You can see it, we already know it's a person with a head. Doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, and then I draw on the top of it. And you do need to practice this to get used to it, idea, and building that data on your head, like how the person bend their arms when they're sketching. How do they actually, hold their pencil? Like we want to build up that memory muscle. I think that is the whole point of the exercise is. And then you can see I'm drawing on the top of the silhouette shape. And you don't have to draw like whole body. You can practice the whole body as just to give the whole general gesture of how what person is doing. But if you want to practice hands only, that's also perfectly fine. Because I don't know, some people maybe is obsessed with drawing beautiful hands. Never know what you're into. And then you can see this silhouette will just help me to build images. If you want to add facial detail, that's fine, but then I don't put too much details on the face. As long as it looks like a person, that's fine by me. The more you want to add detail, then you should just practice, like focusing on the maybe how the person is holding the hands. Like we can zoom into Sunita's hands down here. Let's zoom into. Just practice the hands then. I can then just look into Sunita's hands and how the hand shapes is actually working.
What I like is that you do everything on the same page, Wisdom, because that also gives you an idea of all your practice things. And I use my cheaper paper books or paper that is difficult to use with watercolor. I use for these exercises, and it works perfectly. So you're not so precious about it.
Yes, always use the cheap papers or whatever then the resource available to you. And I'll just only practice the hands. Sunita is holding those multiple pens down there. And you can just write it down. This is the hand, holding hand. So I know how normally artists holding the pens. So this already gives me how I can tackle this subject when I'm actually drawing from the real life. So it is all about building that memory muscle, I think. I don't know. Yeah, but so that's how I would approach. And I don't know what to say now. I mean, yeah, I can share some of the picture like how this person's joint bodies are joints. I
I
still
like,
did, yeah.
yeah, I like the idea of printing it out and then actually making those dots. That is really brilliant. That really works very well. Yeah.
And you can even highlight this as well, like create
I think
understand.
that's enough. Uh, methods that you've shown them. I think
Mhm.
that's brilliant. I work a little bit differently as well. I work this way as well, but I do a little bit different things as well. So it would be nice to actually practice all of this. I'm quite keen to practice this.
Mm. Well, like I would choose one of the poses that you want to practice. Like maybe you want someone dancing, then you should observe that specific movements. They do have a patterns. We all have a patterns. Like even someone walking, there's a certain patterns of their walk, and you can observe that and
Yeah,
you can practice this. So choose one of the gesture that you want to focus on first. If you're not sure where
yeah.
to, because drawing people standing is not fun. Staying still. I don't know. Like we people never
Yeah, they
stay.
don't stand still long enough, yeah. Especially, well, except if they are in queues and things like that. That would be wonderful. But I mean, it's daunting in the beginning, Saddam, to just draw people. And I mean, I've stayed away from it for ages. And then I would
Mm,
only draw little people when from a distance, to put some
yes.
interest in your work. Like, when you do a beach scene, you want to put in some people. And
Mm,
we've all seen the little carrot figures and things that they do. And there's so many informative videos, but it's actually also quite confusing. So you can't do all of the kinds of exercises like everybody. You have to find something that works for you and then practice it
yes.
continuously.
Yes, definitely. I agree with that. And if you're
Yeah.
really not sure, just draw on the silhouette. Don't add detail, so draw the silhouette. You can just print it out the pictures, fill it up, and draw that silhouette like in a series. People's only using silhouette to like stimulate, like give a suggestion that is a person doing something. We just if your goal is showing the suggestion of the gesture, then that is our tackles. But like
Yeah.
find what work best for
Yeah.
you. You do need to build up that muscle, like memory muscles of how certain pose related to, like that line on
Yeah.
each. So that's
But
pretty
what I
much
do find, Saddam, is that most of us do the contour drawings. I think that's the one thing that it's in common. If you look at all the sketches, that's one thing they all do is contour drawings, or most of them do contour drawings, which is very nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will always start with contour drawing. It's just nice to warm up and do some stuff. But
Yeah.
anyway, that I see is in okay. The drawing makes notes dislike. Okay. Good. Interesting how the darker and light marks of the highlighters throw your eyes out. Another idea is only draw the negative space. That's also lovely. Yeah. Negative
Yeah.
space. Ooh, using the space is actually a good plan, I think. But
Yeah,
that
it is. There's definitely also another way of practicing. And I mean, you can actually do a morning if you do exercise every day and to practice, say
mm,
choose to do negative spaces today and say, okay, let's
mm,
just practice the negative spaces until your eye is quite in.
oh,
Yeah, it's not easy.
it's not easy, but we have to do it anyway. Otherwise, you
Yeah.
never ended up in a place that you want to be. But
Yeah.
yeah, go find the way that work best for you. I think that is
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't think there's no right and wrong for this. But that's pretty much on my side, and I don't have anything to
Well,
do.
thank you,
Anyone?
Saddam.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so I would like to share my screen and then just go through the steps how I prepare my exercise to actually be able to draw or practice some people. So I think I'll share my screen. So what I do is I select a few examples of people that I want to try and draw. And then I will use my shift button and then say, select some of the ones that I want to, let me use the control rather, because I'm going to select some of these. So say, for instance, I'm going to select that one. And I think that is a very nice one. That is a very nice one. So I'm going to select, say, 4 of them. I right click on that and then I go to print. I'm going to print my 4 and I'm hoping that this will show, because people sometimes struggle with this bit, how to print out the things in the correct size. I will say, for instance, put it in like that. I choose the 4 on a page option. I'll take away the fit to picture, fit picture to frame. So, and then if I go to options here, to my printer properties, and I want these in color, full color. Let me just go back to the quick setup, main, standard. I just don't want grayscale. I do want a printing preview. So now if I print it out like that, they are all 4 of them are now on the same page. And then I can just say start printing. All right. So I print out a lot of pictures like this, and then I'm going to show you a little bit of a different method to show you what I do. Let me use this one. Okay. This is a guy with a very nice bright yellow jacket and a lady with a nice black dress. All right. And obviously it's nice to actually warm up beforehand and to be able to get your eye in. But I am actually going to just start because we are assuming that we've all warmed up. Okay, so I'm actually just going to focus on that little yellow jacket there. And almost like what Saddam did with her highlighters, I'm actually just going to do with my watercolor. Now, this is not very nice watercolor paper, but I'm going to see how that works. I'm going to put in the pants. Actually, the shape. I'm looking actually at the shapes. Right? And this one is a bit longer. And this one is almost halfway of that. And this one is almost as long as that. And it's at an angle. So if you look at those dots over there where the shoulders are, that's more or less what it is. I'm just going to put in the shape of the hat. I'm definitely not going for detail because I just want to give a suggestion in this picture of the people walking. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just to put in the shape of that dress. And again, she's also at an angle. If I look at the dots of her shoulders, her hips, and it's almost like her dress is almost as long as this feet over here. I'm just going to put in that over there. And then I'm just going to make it a little bit lighter. And just putting in that bit over there. So then if I look at the silhouette of the hat, quite broad, like that. Okay. And then she's got her bag going out there. I think that's already enough. That's all I want to do for today now. Say it's just to practice those shapes. You can come back in later and put in some more drawing on top of it like Saddam did. Say, for instance, she did it with a highlighter, I did it with a watercolor, and then you come back in with crayons. But with watercolor, you just have to wait until it's dry. Now, this one is a bit more of a difficult one. But yeah, I'm also careful to say difficult because then it becomes difficult. But I'm looking at the jersey, at the shape of the jersey. I'm trying to give my mind something else to focus on rather than the lines, because I find with lines, I easily get confused how long the line is, what the direction of the line is. But if I look at the shape, it's almost easier for me to focus on the shape. It might be a little bit small, but I'm going to trust the shape rather than the what I'm thinking. This is actually quite a lot longer. Right. I need to focus on the angle of that where the shoulder dot is. Go down there. I can hear my cat meowing at the door, wanting to come in.
Cute.
I'm not thinking of book, I'm thinking of the shape, and that's where you come in with the negative. I can add that. All right. I'm going to put the just want to give it a little bit of time to dry a little bit. Okay, then we've got the shadow of the face over there and a bit of the hair shape. I might get this wrong, but I'm practicing. It must be a lot bigger. Okay. Oh, I'm going to leave it like that now. Make it a bit less intrusive by just blotting it. Then I'm going to do the denim. And I'm just looking at that shape there. Trying to see if I can see that negative space there. See where this lines up. This is a difficult shape for me to see. Okay. So I keep on thinking, wanting to name it. This is her butt, this is her knee, this is this. And I'm not supposed to do that. So I still need to quieten my mind a little bit. Okay. Let's line up there. I can see now that this must be a lot higher. So I wasn't focusing properly. Okay, now I can see that. Good thing I saw it. Let's see if I can. Step over here. And I think I'm going to leave it like that. And maybe just put that darker bits in there. Okay. So say for instance, that is my way I'm going to practice today. There is one of the two. This one is also quite a nice one. Oh, this one is quite a nice one. Okay. Backwards. Put some more green in there. And then go for the jackets. So I'm doing the clothes and then trying to see the shape of that. Okay. It's quite a long line. I mean, it's the same as what Saddam did, if you think about it. It's the silhouette of that shape. And you're teaching your brain to look at the shapes.
This is really fun exercise.
Yeah, it's not easy. And I mean, these lines are sort of parallel, sort of. And then this shoulder is a lot lower if you point little points there. If you put your little markers over there, I do like that idea of the markers. It actually helps a lot. I'm looking at that shape there and then elongating it quite a bit. And then I've got this shape over here.
Sonia, can you please move your sketching pad a little bit to the left? We can't see it properly on the screen.
Okay. To the left like that. Does that help?
Yes, that's it. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Okay. Let's see. This one goes out a little bit more. There. And we've got that little shape going over there. That's a bit more yellowy green. White. Let's go like that. And then we've got the blue of the trousers there. Now this line is actually quite straight. This is where it becomes interesting to see if I did get the shape right. I did not choose a good paper at all, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to use it as a practice. I mean, one can do the theory of the body by saying, you know, there's eight more or less eight lengths in a body, and let me tell you that when I'm done here. Okay, so and then I've got the face, getting a bit of a face there. In the hat, and then the cane over there, got his pocket in there. So this is one way of just practicing that. And when it's dry, you can come back and then refine the lines, because then you've done it at least once. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, I want to use another book. See how this goes. I've got this, I've changed the size a little bit to this size. It's actually quite nice. But you can see my printer is not up for printing today. Anyway, another method that I like to use is I like to use the Lyra water soluble. Okay, just to come back to the sizes, I wanted to explain that a bit. So if you think about the head, it's about it should fit in about 8 times. This is about halfway between the shoulder and your crutch. The crutch is about halfway between the shoulder and the hip. And then where the ankles is also halfway. So if you think about it this way, let's mark it like that. That should be, the head should fit in 3 times, just about. This is just average, okay? 3 times there. Then you've got your head, your neck and your head, another one. And then your knees should be halfway between this and your elbows should be halfway about there. So you'll see when you look at this picture that the elbows are about there, the knees are about there. So these are things that you can just take note of, and then you add the rest of the body, the feet. The neck here is quite short, but yeah, that gives you an idea of the proportions of this guy's body. Okay, so again, I'm just going to sort of blot out the shoulders dropped here. Okay. The other shoulder is up there, so his hand is going up there. And nice. It's nice to draw people that have got a little bit of flesh. I like it. Okay, the knees go about there, and the ankles about there, and then you've got the rest of the body going there, and then you've got your feet over there. Okay, let me just put this over there. Actually, this is quite a bit higher than I thought. Okay. This line is quite straight. And one thing that Saddam also mentioned is to draw the same kind of poses. Like she likes to draw the people that are drawing the sketches, because it does help you to get familiarize yourself. Then what I'd like to do then is to go back with my water and then just sort of help this along with the doing the shadow bits. And you can re-look your thing and see, you know, how this actually looks. That's a nice way of drawing. I'm thinking, is this guy's hand or is it someone else's hand? But it does look like his hand. No, it isn't. No, it's not. Wonderful. Because I thought, how could that actually come from there? No, that one is actually not. So I can see that now. That's from someone else. So I can just take that out. Like that. Just blot that. All right. So this is quite a nice tool to work with. Is your water soluble graphites. Okay, so I want to show you some of the drawings that I have done before. So if we look at this one, can you all see this one? All right. So
Yes.
this was okay. So this was on location. So what I did here is I just went in with watercolor and did a rough shape of where it is, and then I did continuous contour on top of it. So that was a quick drawing and a nice memory of the day there that we sat there. I've got some others here. Let's show you. This one over here was also done with water-soluble graphite. So also just a quick sketch, and then you do the shadow shapes with the water, and it dissolves very nicely. And using monochromatic watercolors also works very nice. Someone was sitting there, and I was yeah, something that I need to practice a little bit more. Oh, and you can always add white to your watercolor there to put back in some of the lighter bits if you've gone to dark. Okay, let's see what's the other one. These ones are just the little bits of fast watercolor sketches of people that I just put in. This one I really like because the guy was playing the accordion. It's not an accordion, it's actually a concertina or accordion. It was an accordion. And the music actually is reflected in the way it is drawn. So it's called a gestural drawing. So, and you don't lift up your pen, you just keep going with that.
It's
And then
beautiful.
these ones were also done at the beach. So you can see it's really, really just fast drawings. I think for me, drawing with a pencil on its own is sometimes too daunting. Because you have to be more it almost feels like you have to be more accurate if you draw with a pencil. If you draw with something that's bigger, like your highlighters or anything like that, it actually works out nicer. Yeah, I don't know if there's any other questions that you would like to ask. I think I'm done with the demo. I don't know if there's anything else people would like to ask. You're welcome to unmute yourself.
No, I just want to say thank you, both of you. I've learned a hell of a lot. It's very exciting to see this. So thank you very much.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And I think I'm definitely going to practice that one that Saddam said, by doing the dots on the figure itself with something that is darker and that you can actually see. So it's the dots on the shoulders, right? And the dots on the elbows, where you think the elbow is. I actually don't know where the elbow is going to be here. Okay, and then the hips that just says lines up with the shoulders, the knees. So all where the joints actually is where your wrist is there. And that is actually very good, Saddam. That's a very good tip that you've given us. If you look at that, you can see it properly. It really works well. And then this guy's head proportionally looks quite large to his body. So obviously there are some exceptions that, especially with children, their heads are a lot bigger than they'll fit in less of their head in the body. There's 1, 2. You see, there's supposed to be 3, but I think because of the angle of this guy, if you think about his spine, maybe the hip is a bit lower. Yeah, maybe the hip is a bit lower. That makes sense, hey? Yeah, the hip is a bit lower. Yeah. Okay. Saddam, have you got anything to add?
No, I'm all good. I really like all these gentlemen and the people that you chose. They got so much.
Yeah, they've got a lot of character. I'm actually going to put them in the
I'd love to
chat
sketch.
so that people can actually practice them if they wanted to. I think that will help a lot.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe I don't know, like how do we also practice this, like simplification? I know it's a shape we have to build up, but there's also another way for us to practice as well for You know, I love your watercolor, this shape building exercise. So what are the like a
Yeah.
beginner levels for that to practice?
I think one of the things is that the practical things is that people struggle with the busyness of some of the things. So I try and quieten it down by, say, coloring the negative space. In a black and white photograph, it would be actually easier to do it with white rather than black, because I can see now it's going to be difficult to cover this with black.
Mhm.
But I mean, if you can do it with white, I wonder if this will show
Oh,
up,
okay.
because
Well,
not everybody will be able to do it on the computer. You see, you
yeah,
have to find a way that it will be easy for you to do on the photograph itself to practice until you'll it's
oh,
easier for you to, if you isolate that guy now, it's a
uh-huh.
lot easier. I'm just
Oh,
using a white pastel.
that's beautiful actually. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it will quieten the background like that. And that will help a lot. With this one, I did the Koki and just did the background. But I think, you know, according to the picture, it will be easier. Like this one is quite clear. This is an easy one
Yeah,
in terms of, because it's not but when it's in a very busy environment like this could be quite distracting.
yeah.
Where if you quieten the background a bit, you do it on your computer or on your phone. I can also do that on my
Yeah.
phone with the drawing tools that are there. But I
Oh,
think some people might find it difficult.
true.
But if you find it out like that, it's now a lot more quiet. So it's a lot easier to actually see what's going on there. And you'll be able to practice from that. So yeah, I think that's something that I'll post on the group for people to practice and to see how they fare with that.
No, it's wonderful. I mean, I really like that exercise we did. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks, Saddam. Anybody else wants to ask some questions? You're welcome. You can unmute yourself, or you can unmute everybody if you want to, Saddam, and then they can chip in.
Yeah, and you can also share your tip as well. You know, we all learn from each other. Let me just.
Yes, that's true.
I
That's
don't know
true.
why I.
It was very
Okay.
helpful, all of it, and it was really good to be able to practice all of that. So yeah, thank you very much. It was really helpful.
It's a pleasure.
Sonia, there's a John Marie that said, I would love to see how you lay a pencil over your paint forms. And I agree.
Okay.
I would also love to see
Yes.
that if we still have time.
Yes, these ones. Yes. Let's see how that works. Okay. So I'm actually going to see if this one actually works well. All right. So ek iets wat lekker gaan opwys, wat nie te unfortunately, I chose a paper that's really not nice, but okay, let me see if I can find a nice thin pen that will work. Okay,
No, that
let me see if this
one that
works.
lady.
Okay, this one will work. Okay, so just like Saddam, I will actually use the shape almost like a guideline. But not slavishly follow what I've drawn there and then just draw on top of that. Goes over there. That one goes in there. Like you say. So even if you've made a mistake with the denim not being in the right place, you can fix it by doing this. Let's see. That shoe is totally in a different place, actually. Because if the eyes not in, but it's fine. I don't mind getting it wrong, as I said. And that's why I stick to landscapes mostly, because trees are trees. Just makes it so much easier. But I don't mind doing this. It's got, yeah, this is totally a different place there. They see that, well, the second time I go over this, then it's already a lot better. And I'll actually practice this one a lot more. I'll try and practice that one a bit more. Let's see this guy, because this guy is also quite an interesting one. You can look at that guy.
Oh. Oh.
This one is actually a bit more out. No, I didn't get that silhouette quite correct. You can see the still. I want to put in the glasses, but it's still too wet. You can see how it smudges.
I didn't know he was
how
wearing glasses.
Yeah. It's interesting. It actually goes out there. But I'll definitely also practice this a bit more to see, how one zooms in and gets that right. I said it, I mean, even if you have a whole lot of these kind of sketches, where's that those two ones, this one. Yeah. Halfway. Yeah. He's quite skewed in this picture, quite skewed. That seems to be fine. You can actually check that negative space. See, you got it correct there.
Excuse me, ma'am. Please be quiet. Excuse my doggy.
We don't mind the doggies.
She's too self-conscious. Oh, they're such a cute pictures. So cute. If I ever grow up old like that, I don't know.
Anyway, I can say I also need to practice more. But the nice thing about this is that you develop sort of your own way of doing people. And that eventually becomes your visual language, which goes through your sketchbooks, which is quite nice. I actually like it, even though it's not perfect or anything. I mean, I can always put in, when this is now totally dry, I can come back with white and just fix that if I wanted to. But yeah. And like I always like to do is to just write down here, Zoom meeting. Yes, down.
Oh, let me actually stop. Oh, there's one more chat. Thank you. Thank you, Sonia, and so done, Mike.